black pants and black shoes on this Thursday night. Florida Gators are the road team. They are wearing black jerseys and shorts, blue numerals trimmed in orange on the front and back, Gators across the front in the Gator italics, and blue trimmed in orange. Meanwhile, the Crimson Tide, the home white jerseys with crimson numerals on the front and back, Alabama written across the front in crimson. Ready to go, SEC women's basketball. Gina Cross in the circle, the ball is tipped, and away we go. The opening tap controlled by the Crimson Tide thanks to Essence Cody in the circle. Alabama starting this game with the ball, playing on the left goal. It will be Florida on the right. Just getting going in the first of 4 10-minute quarters in women's basketball. Zay Green on the right wing, finds a wide open Barker left block, left side layup good. That's how you start the game. 2-0 Crimson Tide. Excellent assist by Zay Green. Florida completely forgot about the masked woman, Sarah Ashley Barker, is once again wearing a protective mask for the second straight game after she had some hard contact on the road at West Palm Beach just before Christmas. Gators' first possession of the ball game. Dizeko flashes to the top of the key. McGill with 8 on the shot clock. Handoff on the right wing. Reynolds, 5 in the shot clock. She's at the top of the key. Reynolds, couple steps to the right side. McGill pops a three-pointer, partially deflected by Weathers. Taken away by Cody in the paint, and the basketball to the Crimson Tide. 2-0 start for Alabama. Right corner, Nye. 5-0 start. Aaliyah Nye buries the three-pointer, and the Crimson Tide off to a red-hot start in this first minute. 5-0 Alabama. Stifling defense as Reynolds drives down the right side of the lane. Flashes it back to the top of the key to McGill, who resets with the right hand. Passes to Reynolds on the right wing. Now top of the key to Warren. Warren cutting to the basket. Dizeko, the ball gets away from her. Picked up by Reynolds on the right elbow extended. 5 in the shot clock. Pass to Dizeko on the right wing. Nearly lost it. Reynolds, 3 on the shot clock. Driving, spinning, throwing up a shot. She traveled. No good on the shot by Reynolds. And again, traveling anyway. Takes that possession away from the Gators. 5-0 Crimson Tide. Alabama will inbound the basketball as Florida will go to its bench for the first time today. Kansas Salguez will take over, replacing Alexa Dizeko. Basketball at the Crimson Tide. Green over the timeline to Cody, then to Barker on the left wing. Barker, bounce pass to Green, then flip back to Barker. Barker getting downhill on the right side, finds Green top of the key. Head fake by her to the free throw line, driving, right side, layup, got it! Alabama, perfect 7-0 start to this game, 8:13 remaining in the first quarter. Full court pressure after the make. Gators get it over the timeline to Kyle on the right side. A handoff to McGill on the right wing. McGill, free throw line. Left block, slips around the Crimson paint. Back to Warren on the right wing. Warren in the right corner to McGill. McGill, right block to Kyle. Kyle, bodies in the paint. Left-handed hook shot banks in. Florida's on the scoreboard. 7-2, Crimson Tide leading. 7:50 remaining in this opening quarter of play from Tuscaloosa. Green over the timeline. Green, top of the key, couple steps to the left side, passing to Nye. Aaliyah Nye, a handoff back to Green. Green at the top of the key. Spins around the right elbow, looks for help, finds it in Weathers on the left wing. Shot clock at 10. Weathers driving to the left block. Fights her way back to Nye on the right wing. 5 in the shot clock. Nye, top of the key, Green. Long range, pops the 3. Give it to her! 10-2 Crimson Tide. Alabama with a great start to this ball game. The Crimson Tide just cannot miss at the moment. 4 for 4 from the floor to begin the game. McGill, top of the key. Her 3 is up and perfect. Good answer for Liv McGill, the highest rated recruit in Florida women's basketball history, knocking down that 3 to make it a 10-5 score 3 minutes into the game. Cody at the top of the key. Hand off to Nye on the right wing, passing to Barker, then back to Green, top of the key. Around the screen, just to the left elbow. Green with a three-pointer up, or a jumper up, no good. Rebound tapped at a play by Cody, and the basketball to Florida. First missed shot of the game after Alabama made its first 4. 4 for 4 start for the Crimson Tide, down 4 for 5 as the Gators get the basketball back. Florida finding a little bit of offense. Three-pointer a moment ago by McGill. Kyle also scored in the paint. Now the Gators over the timeline with Reynolds. And off to Salguez on the left wing. Salguez passing it to the top of the key to McGill. McGill around the screen by Gassett. Now step back 3 at the top of the 3. Swirls off the iron, no good. Rebound tapped out of play and will go to the Crimson Tide. Touch last by Florida. 6:32 remaining in this first quarter. Crimson Tide 10 and the Gators 5. Basketball with Alabama over the timeline. Zay Green. Green to Barker. Couple steps to the left side, still near the top of the key. Now Barker attacks the paint, driving right side, layup off the window, kisses in. 12-5 Crimson Tide. Sarah Ashley Barker with 4 points. Basketball back to the Gators, trailing 12-5, 6:10 remaining in this first quarter. Going up for a shot, blocked away. The Crimson Tide with swarming defense on McGill. Basketball back to Alabama. And then a turnover on the Crimson Tide, just straddling the line. At mid-floor was Zay Green getting ready for the pass. A block by Essence Cody a moment ago on McGill. Alabama defensively, offensively, off to a good start, leading by 7 against Florida. Gators will inbound the basketball with Warren. Into the backcourt to Layla Reynolds. Reynolds veers to the right wing, hands off in between the rings to McGill. Back on the right wing to Reynolds. Reynolds nearly lost the handle, now passes in between the rings to Salguez. Salguez to McGill on the left wing. McGill around the screen to the free throw line. McGill tries to go left side to Gassett, keeps it in play, but just to the hands of Aaliyah Nime, and she bumps into McGill, and McGill called for the foul. Liv McGill called for her first foul. First team foul on the Gators and in this game overall. 5:42 remaining in the first quarter. Alabama 12, Florida 5. SEC opener from Tuscaloosa. Quick handoff to Aaliyah Nye. Bounce pass to Weathers at the top of the key. Weathers finds some space on the right side with Zay Green. Green spins around, right side of the lane, finds Weathers on the left wing. Weathers dribbles to the top of the key, gets downhill down the right side. Weathers, bounce past Cody, left side, puts it up, puts it home. 14-5, Crimson Tide. Essence Cody scoring for the first time today. Basketball with the Gators, trailing by 9. McGill dribbling in between the rings. Florida with its largest deficit of the game. McGill pounding the left-handed dribble. She calls it a play with her right. Pass to Reynolds on the right wing. Reynolds guarded by Nye, dribbling with the left hand to the top of the key. Inside the arc, her jumper off the back iron, no good. Cody with the rebound and had contact from the Gators trying to collect that rebound, and a foul is called. And that'll be on Liv McGill. Second foul on her, second team foul, and that takes us to a timeout on the floor. Red hot start for the Crimson Tide, 6 of 7 from the floor to begin this game. And at the first media timeout with 4:56 remaining in the first quarter, it's Alabama 14, Florida 5. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Alabama 14, Florida 5 with 4:56 remaining in the first quarter from Tuscaloosa. Bama fans, be sure to catch Hey Coach and the Nate Oates Show, presented by Alpha Insurance, live from Bob Howard's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa, each and every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. Central, all across the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Right now, the women's basketball team off to a good start in this game against Florida. Alabama made its first 4 shots of the game and only 1 miss so far for Christy Curry's team. Alabama 6 of 7 shooting, 86% from three-point land, a perfect 2 of 2 to begin this ball game. Top scorer is Zay Green with 5 points. 4 points by Sarah Ashley Barker, 3 by Aaliyah Nye, and then Essence Cody with 2 points. Carly Weathers has not scored, but does have 1 assist to begin this game. Florida, meanwhile, 2 of 6 shooting. The Gators have not scored in the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Out of timeout, Crimson Tide on the floor with all 5 starters. Nye along with Weathers, Cody, Green, and Barker. Meanwhile, the Florida Gators with Alexa Gassett. Also playing for the first time today, Paige Clausen. Kenza Salguez, another reserve player, has checked in. One of the starters, Alexa Dizeko, back in, along with Jariah Warren, one of the starters. Already 2 fouls and one of the best Florida players, Liv McGill, freshman, Donald's All-American. Green driving on the right baseline, finds Nye in the left corner, pops the 3, puts in the 3. Aaliyah Nye knocks down her second of this game. Alabama 17, Florida 5. Basketball going back to the Gators. 4.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Dizeko on the left wing. Looks to Warren. She wasn't ready. Now to Clausen, top of the key. Then to Salguez on the right wing. Being guarded with hands-up defense by Zay Green. Step to the left, and that step engendered the travel. So the basketball going to the Crimson Tide. Turnover on the Florida Gators. Third one we've seen on Florida so far. Still 4:22 remaining in this first quarter. Crimson Tide ball leading at 17-5. Over the timeline right. Zay Green with a basketball for Alabama. Green double team, finds Cody at the free throw line, but the pass intercepted before it gets to her. Warren with a clean steal, and then a travel by the Gators by Dizeko with her footing just over the three-point line in crimson on the left wing. So another Florida turnover, taking away some opportunities for the Gators. 4 turnovers on Florida, 2 on Alabama. Still 4:08 remaining in this first quarter. Alabama will inbound the basketball with Sarah Ashley Barker. Inbounding to Zay Green, and now Green facing some pressure by Dizeko, will dribble over the timeline right. Here's Green in the top of the key. Double teamed to Weathers on the left wing. Weathers to Barker on the left baseline. Barker left block into the crimson paint. Fights her way up, puts it in. Sarah Ashley Barker makes it Alabama 19 and Florida 5. 14-point Crimson Tide advantage, 3:45 remaining in this first quarter. Clausen with the basketball. Top of the key, a handoff to Dizeko, a handoff to Salguez, right wing 3, up and in. Gators get back on the scoreboard thanks to Salguez with a 3-pointer, 19-8. Alabama leading with 3.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Green spins over the timeline right. Double team, top of the key, finds Cody on the right wing. She launches a 3, off the back iron, no good. And the rebound right side of the lane by Gassett. Basketball to the Florida Gators, trailing at 19-8. Salguez, top of the key. Bounce pass right side of the lane. Spinning around, Gassett, turnaround jumper up and in. Last 2 shots have gone in for Florida to make it 19-10. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Alabama with the ball and a 9-point lead. Pesky backcourt defense by Dizeko right on Green as she negotiates over the timeline left. Green, after spinning around, finds Barker in between the rings. Barker, hand in her face by Warren. Dribbles to the left wing inside the arc, all the way to the right corner. Now a step back 3 on the way by Green is short. Barker the rebounder, putback is short. Fight for the rebound, won by Carly Weathers. Bounce pass top of the key to Green, then Nye tees up a 3. Off the back iron, no good. Fight for the rebound on the right side. Bodies go flying all over the place. Barker and Warren collide, and it will be Barker called for the foul. First foul on Sarah Ashley Barker for the Crimson Tide. First team foul on the Crimson Tide as well to begin this game. Clausen goes out for the Gators. Reynolds back in. Also Zay Green going out for the first time today for the Crimson Tide. Gianna Cunningham will replace Essence Cody. Diana Collins, as well as Gianna Cunningham, off the bench for Alabama, as Green and Cody will rest for the remaining 2:32, or at least for the next stretch. Basketball with Florida trailing by 9. Alabama's now missed 4 shots in a row on offense. Tide needs some defense here. Reynolds driving, left side layup up and in and one. 19-12 with that basket and the and one due to the foul by Aaliyah Nye. First foul on her, second team foul on the Crimson Tide in the last really 10 seconds. So the basketball on the line with Layla Reynolds, 50% free throw shooter, 14 of 28 on the year, was named the All-SEC freshman team a year ago. Reynolds gets set, puts it up, and no good, and the rebound corralled by Barker on the right baseline. Crimson Tide ball leading by 7, but now the lead for the Crimson Tide's been cut in half as an offensive foul is going to be called, an illegal screen called against Gianna Cunningham of the Crimson Tide. First foul on her just as Barker got around the screen and was going to the basket on the right side. She's guilty of the foul. Cunningham for Alabama's 3rd team foul. Officials tonight Gina Cross, Nikesha Thompson, and Kyle Bacon. Inbounds pass into Salguez. Salguez motors over the timeline right. Picked up on defense by Diana Collins. Alabama's at 1 point, 19-5 lead. Starting to drift away, driving in and throwing up a shot, no good. A jump ball. The shot was no good by Warren. Possession arrow favors Florida. So the ball just got loose on the arrow. It will stay with the Gators. 7-0 run for Florida after Alabama built up a 14-point lead at 19-5. Gators, baseline out of bounds on the right side. Go quickly in on the left block to Reynolds. She leaves her layup short. Rebound Carly Weathers. Basketball, the Crimson Tide. Weathers on the right wing. Around a screen by Cunningham. Now to Nye on the right wing. Thought about a three instead. Works inside the arc. Nye spins around. Bounce pass to Weathers on the right wing. Weathers dribbling at the top of the key. Handoff to Collins. Collins hurries down the right side lane. Layup up, layup in. Welcome to SEC basketball. Diana Collins. She makes it 21-12 Crimson Tide. That ends a scoring drought for Alabama. Alabama had missed its last 4 shots before that Collins layup. Minute and a half to play in this first quarter. Alabama 21, Florida 12. Salguez on the right wing against Collins. Steps back in the right front court. Bounce pass top of the key to Warren. Now in the paint to Kyle. Spinning around. Left-handed hook shot. Kicks out. No good. Rebound out of play off of Florida. It will be Crimson Tide basketball. Alabama will sub in freshman Eris Lester, who grew up about an hour away from Gainesville in Jacksonville, Florida. Lester coming off a 14-point performance against her hometown Jacksonville University Dolphins on Sunday. With that, Aaliyah Nye goes out. A minute 15 remaining in quarter number 1. Alabama 21 and Florida 12. Collins over the timeline. Bounce pass to Barker at the top of the key. Barker around the screen to the right elbow. Right side lane. Worked it back out to Lester. Wanted to go to her on the right wing, but Lester not in the right spot. And a turnover as the ball goes to the Florida bench. Minute 2 remaining in this first quarter. Alabama 21, Florida 12 as the Gators work with the basketball. Reynolds over the middle of the timeline, picked up on defense by Lester. A bounce pass, Salguez. On the left wing, hand interfaced by Collins. Pass to Warren, top of the key. Warren against Weathers. Now to Kyle on the right block, spinning around, and she traveled. Gators called for traveling. 5th turnover on Florida so far in this game. 46 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Basketball back with the Crimson Tide. Over the timeline is Diana Collins. 21-12, Alabama leading by 9. Bounce pass to Barker at the top of the key, just inside the arc. Barker spins around, nearly lost her footing right side lane. Now fights her way to the basket, leaves the left side layup short. Gators get the rebound with Gassett. Then a pass is tipped by Barker, but still finds Reynolds. Basketball will be with the Gators. Shot clock turned off. 20 seconds remaining in this first quarter with Alabama up 21-12. Dribbling in mid-floor on the Mississippi border by Layla Reynolds. Now she gets moving to the top of the key. 10 seconds left. Reynolds driving on the right side. Works it in the right corner. Inside the arc. Gassett's jumper no good. Rebound left baseline. Weathers. 4 seconds to work with. Carly Weathers to mid-floor. Weathers top of the key. Heaves it at the buzzer. That's short. And that will close out the first 10 minutes of play. Alabama got off to a great start in this ball game, and even after being up by 14, it became a 7-point game, and the Crimson Tide, with the final basket of the first quarter, will take a 9-point lead into quarter number 2. Our score in Tuscaloosa, Alabama 21, Florida 12. Back with the start of the second quarter next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. 10 minutes to go in this second quarter. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide 21 and the Florida Gators 12. Crimson Tide fans, we remind you to stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations. Flu season is here, so don't wait. Vaccinate. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM today to learn more about how you can stay up to date on vaccinations. ADPH is proud to support the Crimson Tide. Alabama 21, Florida 12. Crimson Tide with a solid first quarter of play as Alabama shot 56% from the floor in the first quarter. Obviously got off to a great start, 6 of its first 7, 4 for 4 to begin the ball game, but 56% from the floor to begin this game. Alabama 3 of 7 from three-point land. Meanwhile, the Gators just 41% shooting, 5 of 12. They have knocked down a pair of three-pointers in 4 attempts. Sarah Ashley Barker once again wearing the mask. It was a clear mask on Sunday against Jacksonville. Now full black mask for Barker going over her eyes and nose as she inbounds the basketball in the backcourt to Diana Collins, who will work over the timeline and get the Crimson Tide moving on offense. 21-12 in favor of the Tide. Barker on the right baseline, double team, looks for help, finds a Collins in the right wing. Right side of the lane, now to Lester at the top of the key. Lester, free throw line, driving, right side layup up, too strong, but fouled on the shot that went up, and a free throw coming up for Eris Lester. And that will send Eris Lester to the free throw line for the Crimson Tide. 9:44 remaining in the second quarter. Alabama up 21-12. That foul will be against Salguez of Florida, the transfer from Miami. Lester's first no good, a 73% free throw shooter off the back iron. One more coming up for her. Second one up and kicks in. 22-12, Crimson Tide back to a 10-point lead with 9:44 remaining in the second quarter. Lester goes out for the Crimson Tide. Zay Green back in. Currently all 5 starters on the floor for the Crimson Tide as the Gators will work the ball over the timeline with Salguez, trapped at mid-floor by Green and Barker. After a pass to Warren, now it's Salguez at the top of the key. Kyle, bounce pass intended for Gassett, through her hands right side of the lane and then out of play. Turnover on the Gators will give the basketball to the Crimson Tide. Florida, the turnovers really mounting by them. 6 in this ball game compared to 4 by Alabama. Over the timeline, driving on the basketball, Zay Green. A bounce pass to Nye at the top of the key. Leah Nye, after feeling some pressure, drives down the right side of the lane, spinners around, mid-range jumper up and good. Leah Nye, she can score inside as well. She makes it 24-12. Alabama doubling up Florida with 9:07 remaining in the second quarter. Basketball with the Gators at the top of the key is Reynolds. Reynolds driving, right side layup up, banked in. 24-14, Crimson Tide leading by 10. 8:55 remaining in this second quarter. Green at the top of the key. Green to Weathers on the left wing. Weathers to the left baseline. Nearly went out of play. Now back to the top of the key. Green, then Barker launching a high-arching three. That's good. Sarah Ashley Barker makes it 27-14, Alabama. 8:40 remaining in the second quarter. Crimson Tide outscoring the Gators 6-2 in the second stanza. Basketball of the Gators with Reynolds. Hand off to Kyle, right elbow. Right wing Warren tees up a 3 and connects. Florida knocking down its 3rd three-pointer of the game. That makes it 27-17. Good answer after the Barker three-pointer. Basketball with the Crimson Tide. Cody in between the rings. Barker on the left wing. Bounce pass to Green. Flips it back to Barker. Barker around the screen on the right side. Cody top of the key. Here's a 3. No good off the back iron, and the rebound right to Salguez. Basketball with the Gators. Salguez over the timeline to Warren right side. Warren spins around right side of the lane, nearly lost the ball. Kyle picks it up and puts it in. A mid-range jumper from the right side of the lane. 27-19, Alabama leading, and with that, Christy Curry will call a timeout, and we will step aside as well. 7:52 remaining in this second quarter from Tuscaloosa and the SEC opener. It's Alabama 27 and Florida 19. Back with the rest of the first half next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. 7:52 remaining in this second quarter. It's the Crimson Tide leading the Florida Gators by a 27-19 score. Fans, stay up to date with the latest on the Crimson Tide by tuning into Tide TV This Week. Check your local listings for TV times in your area, and remember, Tide TV This Week, also on demand, rolltide.com. Tide TV This Week, hosted by Paige Riley. Crimson Tide outscoring the Florida Gators in this second quarter. Actually, now it's Florida outscoring Alabama 7-6. It had been the Crimson Tide 6-2, but the last 5 points poured in by Florida. With that, Christy Curry calls a quick timeout, and the Crimson Tide can talk things over as Sarah Ashley Barker gets ready for the inbounds pass to Zay Green. Alabama 27 and Florida 19. Barker so far 9 points, leading scorer for the Crimson Tide. Aaliyah Nye with 8 points. Meanwhile, the Gators balance scoring with Reynolds and Kyle both leading the way with 4 points. Back underway in Tuscaloosa. Basketball with the Crimson Tide. Barker into Green. Green at the top of the key. Looks to Barker. Now flips it to her. Just a couple steps to the left. Barker left side of the lane. Tiptoes to the free throw line. Handoff to Green. Green lost her footing going down the left side lane. Finds Barker. Now back to the top of the key. Zay Green. 5 in the shot clock for Alabama to work with. It's Nye. A head fake by her. Driving right baseline. Right to the rim. Left side layup good. Aaliyah Nye shows off her speed. It's Alabama 29, Florida 19. Basketball back to the Gators with 7:20 remaining in this first quarter. Reynolds has the ball stripped by Barker. Loose in the backcourt. Diving for it. Nye. She's got it. On her back. Bounce pass to Weathers. Weathers to the top of the key. Green. Barker still slow to get up and laying on her back. Back on Alabama's end as officials stop play. So Sarah Ashley Barker now being attended to by Alicia Grisby and the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry. Now Barker talking with Grisby as Diana Collins will be coming in just a moment for the Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide 29 and the Gators 19. Again, 7:07 still to go in this second quarter. As Barker is trying to sit up as she talks with Grisby. Now being helped to her feet, but not putting really any weight on her left leg as she will be helped by Kevin Markle, another member of the training staff as well. Strength coach Kevin Markle. Now she is being helped back to the locker room. Dr. Ray Stewart will also be there to take a look at Barker, who kind of lost her footing at the top of the key when that ball was deflected into the backcourt. Crimson Tide again will be with Diana Collins, but that was tough on Barker's left leg with a lot of contact all around. So hopefully Barker will be back very soon for the Crimson Tide. 7:07 remaining in the second quarter. The inbounds pass from Weathers to Green at the top of the key. Green hurries down the left side lane, throws up a shot, leaves it short, gets her own rebound, puts it back up, and it banks in. 31-19 Crimson Tide, now to a 12-point lead. 6:53 remaining in this second quarter. Basketball with Reynolds at the top of the key. Reynolds floats it on the left block. Gassett, she's got it. Throws in a left side layup that's good. 31-21, Gators trailing by 10. Crimson Tide back with the basketball. With Green over the timeline. Green, a quick handoff to Nye, then to Cody, back to Nye. Right to the basket, left side layup up, over the backboard, no good. Nye lost her footing as well. Some contact, but no foul called as Nye is helped to her feet. Also falling on the play was Alexa Gassett. Crimson Tide leading by 10, 6:31 remaining in the second quarter. And bounce pass into Layla Reynolds. Reynolds over the middle of the timeline. Now Reynolds, right side lane, will throw it up and put it in. Gators just kind of hoisting up shots, and they're starting to fall as Florida continues a good scoring second quarter. 31-23, Alabama's lead at 8 with 6:10 remaining in this second quarter. Cody, handoff to Green. Green looking low. Now Green spins around to the free throw line. An extra spin. Weathers on the left wing. Her three up. Off the iron, no good. And the rebound right blocked by the Florida Gators. Rebound that time by O'Neal. Basketball with the Gators with Reynolds top of the key. Swings it out in the left wing. Here's O'Neal with a three-pointer. That's no good, and the rebound saved on the right baseline by Florida. Saved by Gassett. Gators are cycled at the top of the key with Reynolds. 12 on the shot clock. Reynolds step inside the arc. Right side of the lane, double team, spins, throws up a shot that banks in. Florida right now, good scoring stretch to make it a 31-25 6-point game. 5:25 remaining in this second quarter. Green over the timeline for the Crimson Tide. A handoff to Aaliyah Nye. Bounce pass to Collins at the top of the key. Collins, right elbow extended, top of the key to Weathers. Weathers on the left block. There's Essence Cody. Left side layup good. 33-25, Crimson Tide with a good response after Florida had a 6-0 run. 5 minutes exactly left in this second quarter. Basketball with Florida, outscoring the Tide 13-12 in this second period. And the Gators turn the basketball over. Good pressure by the Crimson Tide left side of the lane. Florida will bring in Kyle as well as Liv McGill, their top player who picked up 2 early fouls. And a 30-second timeout will be taken. This will not be the media timeout. We already had that earlier in the second quarter. Well, concern right now for the Crimson Tide, the health of Sarah Ashley Barker. Again, it looked like her left leg got tangled up on the floor along with a couple Florida defenders. And she had to leave midway here in the second quarter. And we're certainly hoping for all the best, but unable to put any weight, it looked like, on her left leg going back to Crimson Tide locker room where she is getting attended to at the moment. Was very visibly hurt on the floor as she talked with Alicia Grisby and the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry, in tears and a lot of pain, it seemed. So just hope for the best for Sarah Ashley Barker, who has taken some hard knocks with the way she has played throughout her Georgia and Alabama careers. Even Michigan State had to leave that ball game midway in the third quarter, returned early in the fourth, and that's why she's been wearing the protective mask over the last 2 games. Basketball with the Crimson Tide with Zay Green. Driving down the right side lane, puts it up, puts it in. Excellent work by the Crimson Tide out of timeout to make it a 35-25 score. Basketball back to the Gators, 4:40 remaining here in quarter number 2. Top of the key, Kyle. Kyle steps inside the arc, long jumper up and short on the front iron, and the rebound tapped out of play. Last touch by Alabama. Will be Gator basketball with 4.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Alabama 35 and Florida 25. Gators will inbound the basketball with Liv McGill on the right baseline, looking, waiting, and pushes it in on the left side, but it's quickly tapped out of play by Carly Weathers. Zay Green right there as well for Alabama. Now McGill on the left baseline. Baseline out of bounds play coming up. Comes into Kyle, now to Reynolds at the top of the key. Reynolds spins around right side of the lane and traveled to the basketball. The Gators turning it over again, 9-4 Florida in terms of turnovers so far in this game. 4:25 remaining in the second quarter. Alabama 35, Florida 25. Inbounds pass to Alabama's Zay Green. Green around the screen. Driving under the basket, spins around, floats it up, floats it in. Zay Green took over. She's in double figures, leading Alabama with 11 points, and she makes it 37-25 Crimson Tide. McGill at the top of the key, weaving to the free throw line. McGill passes back on the right side. Kyle, right block, she's got it, and the right side layup is good. 37-27, 4 minutes remaining in this second quarter. 10-point Alabama lead. Green over the timeline. Zay Green on the right baseline, passing to Cody. Cody, right side lane, spins, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound Kyle in the crimson paint, and the basketball to Florida. Gators over the timeline with McGill. McGill around the screen, left elbow jumper is up, swirls off the iron, no good. Rebound by Cody in the paint, basketball to Alabama, up by 10. Here's Zay Green on the left wing, around the screen by Cody. Just a step to the right now at the top of the key, Green. Right side lane, forces up a shot, left short, contact by the Gators, but a really good block by Warren. Now a baseball pass over the timeline to the right sideline. Catching the pass was Reynolds, but right on that right sideline, and a turnover on Florida. Gators with now 10 turnovers, 10-4 Florida in terms of turnovers in this game. Dinah Collins goes out. Crimson Tide with Eris Lester back in, playing in her first SEC game. Weathers inbounds the basketball to Zay Green. Green, pesky defense on her by Dizeko. Dribbles over the timeline. Veers to the left wing. Now at the top of the key, Aaliyah Nye. Nye around a screen by Cody at the free throw line. Slams on the brakes. Back to Green. Green driving down the right side of the lane. Green, right side of the lane, jumper up. Kicks home. Members bounce for Zay Green. That makes it 39-27 Crimson Tide. Green, a scoring machine with 13 points in this first half. Swimming up with a shot, up that banked in. Liv McGill nearly traveled on that. 39-29. Christy Curry even makes the hand motion of a turnover and travel. Basketball going back to the Crimson Tide. A bump on the backcourt by Dizeko on Green. And now Green just over the timeline. Hand off to Cody at the top of the key. Free throw line. Cody, right elbow. Back to 9, top of the key. Dials up long distance. That's no good on the three-pointer. Kyle flies in for the rebound. Basketball to the Florida Gators. Trailing by 10, 2:17 remaining in this second quarter. Alabama's outscored Florida 18-17 in quarter number 2. That's notably featured an injury to Alabama's top scorer, Sarah Ashley Barker. McGill to Kyle at the top of the key. Back to McGill. 10 on the shot clock. McGill hurries down the left side, kicks it out left corner. High arching three, no good by Salguez, and the basketball to the Crimson Tide. Zay Green over the timeline. Green scans the scene at the top of the key. At the free throw line, puts up a jumper that's no good. Rebound by Kyle right against Cody on the right block. Basketball with the Florida Gators. Florida, after Warren drove in right side, swings it back to McGill, top of the key. Liv McGill, so far today, 5 points, 2 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 3 from three-point land. Sensational Florida freshman. McGill, and away from the ball, an offensive foul called against Florida. No. McGill pushed off. Actually, it will be against Kyle, so that was away from the ball. Kyle picks up her first foul. Zay Green goes out for Alabama with 1:27 remaining in the second quarter. Diana Collins back in. Still have not seen Barker return from the Crimson Tide locker room. Over the timeline, Diana Collins. Hand off to Leah Nye, then to Lester at the top of the key. Lester, left side lane, jumper on the way. No good off the back iron. Rebound tap to McGill right against Cody on the baseline. Basketball the Gators, 1:07 remaining in the second quarter, trailing Alabama by 10. Gators with Salguez to Dizeko. Dizeko to McGill at the top of the key. 1 minute left. Dizeko fights it in the corner. Here comes a three-pointer up. Well short by Salguez. Rebound through the hands of Warren. Out of play. And basketball will actually belong with Florida. Leah Nye was also there. 2 minute, 10-second scoring drought for the Crimson Tide, but holding steady with a 10-point lead in the second quarter. 52 seconds to go until halftime. Gators with Salguez. Sideline out of bounds from the right side. Thrown into McGill, but she is quickly found by Collins on some contact. First foul on Collins. First team foul on the Crimson Tide here in the second quarter, and it takes all the way until the final minute for Alabama to commit a foul in this 10-minute stretch. Now Salguez ready for the inbounds. So will come in to Liv McGill. McGill looks back to Kelly Ray Finley, the Florida head coach, for instruction. Now gets moving. 12 on the shot clock. Hand off to Dizeko and then to Salguez. Salguez, top of the key. To Kyle, to McGill. 4 on the shot clock. McGill driving in from the right side to the rim. Puts it up, puts it in on a layup. 39-31. Basketball back to Alabama. Shot clock turned off for the final 25 seconds of this second quarter. 39-31. Alabama leading Florida in the SEC opener. Now it's Collins on the right wing. A handoff to Aaliyah Nye. Nye with 10 seconds left in this second quarter. Around the screen to the left. Nye inside the arc. Bounce pass top of the key to Collins. 5 seconds left. Collins spins around. Crimson paint drives. Left side layup kicks in for Diana. That makes it a 10-point Alabama lead, and it will be a 10-point lead at the break. Grueling 20 minutes of play between Alabama and Florida, but you wouldn't expect anything else to begin SEC women's basketball. Our score at halftime, Alabama 41 and Florida 31. We'll step aside and be back with the Toyota Halftime Report next. Again, the Toyota Halftime Report, first half stats and scores from around the SEC when we come back from this timeout. Our score at half, Alabama 41, Florida 31. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. into the Toyota halftime report from Coleman Coliseum. Our score at the break in the SEC opener, it's Alabama 41 and Florida 31. Roger Hoover, glad to welcome you to the Toyota halftime report. First half stats for the Crimson Tide. Alabama is shooting better than 50% from the floor in this game. 18 of 34. Alabama 4 for 11 from three-point land, 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Rebounds, Alabama getting out-rebounded at the moment, 16-13 to the Gators, 6 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Meanwhile, for the University of Florida, Gators shooting 14 of 26 from the floor, 53%, stepped it up a lot in the second quarter, 9 of 14 shooting there. 3 of 8 from 3, and then 0 for 1 at the free throw line. 16 rebounds, as I mentioned, 6 assists. Gators have been hurt by 10 turnovers in this game, 1 steal, and 1 block. Top scorer in this game, Zay Green for Alabama, 13 points, 6 of 11 shooting for the Crimson Tide point guard to begin this contest. Aaliyah Nye with 10 points at the break. And then Sarah Ashley Barker, 9 points, but early in the second quarter had to leave with injury. Kind of had a tough play where she was fighting, jarred the basketball loose. We got tangled up with the Florida player. That, with the angle she had on the floor, made it what looked to be a tough left leg injury. Haven't heard any update yet, but we'll pass along any info as we get it throughout the rest of this broadcast, but had to be helped off the floor without putting any weight on her left leg. Other scores for the Crimson Tide include 4 points by Diana Collins and Essence Cody, 1 point by Eris Lester. Meanwhile, for the Florida Gators, 8 points leading the way by Layla Reynolds, 7 points by Liv McGill, 4 points by Alexa Gassett, and then 6 points by Rashea Kyle. Crimson Tide leading by 10 at the break against Florida. Alabama led for nearly all of the first half. 19 minutes, 42 seconds. Gators have not led in this contest. Crimson Tide started the game on a 7-0 run and, for the most part, have largely not looked back in building up this 10-point lead at the break. We'll step aside, be back with more of the Toyota halftime report next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. figures at half. Nearing the end of the first quarter, on the west end of Nashville, it's Vanderbilt 21, Georgia 10. Coming up later tonight, getting started in just about 9 minutes, it will be 15th-ranked Tennessee at Texas A&M. And then tonight's marquee matchup, the two newest members of the SEC get to play each other, Texas and Oklahoma, and a top 10 matchup, 5th-ranked Longhorns, 9th-ranked Sooners, getting underway from the Lloyd Noble Center just after 8 p.m. Also at 8 p.m. Central will be 6th-ranked LSU on the road against a struggling Arkansas team, the Razorbacks 7-8 in non-conference play. Our score here at halftime, it's the 13-1 Alabama Crimson Tide 41 and the Florida Gators 31. We'll be back with more of the Toyota Halftime Report next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Time in Tuscaloosa, Crimson Tide in front 41-31 against the Florida Gators. What to expect in the second half is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Well, what to expect for the Crimson Tide? Expect more Zay Green taking over in terms of getting to the rim and scoring, especially if Sarah Ashley Barker is unable to return to this ball game tonight. Zay Green and Aaliyah Nye would be relied on for a lot of scoring, and then obviously have to have some contributions from others on the team like Essence Cody as well as Carly Weathers, two other starters. May see as well much more of Diana Collins playing, or Eris Lester off the bench trying to pick up some of the slack left behind by Barker, who again has left the game with a left leg injury. The Crimson Tide returning from the locker room. Keep an eye on whether or not she returns and is able to continue in this game, and haven't heard anything yet from Alabama's sports information staff. The Crimson Tide again leading 41-31 at the break. For the Gators, just got to slow down more than anybody. Liv McGill, a player that's been averaging 16 points per game. Roshea Kyle, as well as a post presence who hasn't done much so far in this game, does have 6 points, 4 rebounds. But if Alabama can slow her down, Crimson Tide should be in good shape. A 10-point lead at half. Alabama started this game on a 7-0 run, and the Crimson Tide have enjoyed the advantage ever since then. But again, the mood in the building has changed a lot with the Barker injury. Just waiting to see what the severity of it will be, not just for tonight, but in the games and months ahead for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Teams back on the floor, so that does it for the Toyota Halftime Report. Visit your local Toyota dealers or explore SEToyota.com today. Take advantage of the deals on our full line of vehicles. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places. Next up is the third quarter of action. It's Alabama 41 and Florida 31 at the break. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. And welcome back to Coleman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Roger Hoover with you courtside. Game being produced by Dawson Brown, Jerry Kelly back at our Learfield studios. Ethan Carabin producing our courtside cam presented by NASCAR. Hello to everyone watching the courtside cam on Alabama's Crimson Tide Sports Network, Facebook, Twitter, or X, and YouTube accounts streaming live for each and every home game, including this weekend for Alabama men's and women's basketball. Gators will start the second half with the basketball. We have not seen Sarah Ashley Barker return from the Crimson Tide locker room after leaving with injury early in the second quarter, but that will be a storyline that we'll continue to monitor as the game goes along. Alabama without its leading scorer as we start the third quarter. 10-point Crimson Tide lead. McGill with a head fake against Collins. Now back on the right wing. Kyle right block. Top of the key to McGill. Pops a high arching three that's short. Rebound by Nye outside the right block. Basketball to Alabama. Crimson Tide playing on the right goal, Florida on the left as we start this third quarter. Alabama in the home white jerseys, Florida in the road black. Now top of the key, Collins to Green. Green hurries down the right side lane, bounce pass Weathers, right corner three up and in. Carly Weathers starts the third quarter with a three. 44-31, Alabama. Carly Weathers scoring for the first time today. Great to see that for the junior from Loretto, Tennessee. Now it's Kyle at the top of the key. Out to McGill on the right wing. McGill dribbling to the free throw line just inside the arc. Her jumper swirls off the iron, no good. Kyle chases down the rebound on the right corner. Gators reset. Kyle all the way to Warren. Left wing pops a three. That's good. Gators have hit some three-pointers today. That makes it 44-34. That three-pointer knocked down. The fourth of the game by Florida. Basketball, the Crimson Tide. Green over the timeline right. Now Green. Handoff to Aaliyah Nye. Nye, a bounce pass to Collins. Collins floats it to Cody at the top of the key. A handoff back to Collins. Collins finds Weathers in the left corner. Weathers driving left baseline. Mid-range jumper is short. Rebound by Carly Weathers. Now fights out of traffic. Goes to Nye on the right wing. Top of the key to Green. Shot clock at 15. Green. Free throw line. Spins around in the crimson paint. Slams on the brakes. Looks for help. Now backs up. Throws up a shot. No good. And the rebound by Kyle. Basketball to the Gators. 8:07 remaining in this third quarter. Alabama is still with a 10-point lead, just like Tide enjoyed at halftime. Here's a layup up. Too strong by Warren. Rebound picked up in the paint by Alabama's Aaliyah Nye. Nye over the timeline, driving. Kicks it out to Collins in the right corner. Head fake by her. Collins, right side lane, zips it back out to Nye. Now a bounce pass. Cody, a floater in the paint is good. Excellent assist by Aaliyah Nye. Essence Cody scoring in the paint to make it 46-34. Gators quickly down the floor. A layup is left short by the Gators' Warren, and the rebound is taken away by the Crimson Tide. Here's Nye, left wing three. Off the iron, no good, and the rebound by Florida, left side of the lane. Gators back to work with McGill just over the timeline. Florida trailing Alabama 46-34, 7:20 remaining in this third quarter. Reynolds on the right wing. Reynolds to Dizecco, around a screen by Warren. To McGill. McGill at the top of the key with 5 in the shot clock, dancing around. Now McGill, step back three on the way. That's good. Liv McGill makes it 46-37. Crimson Tide leading with 7 minutes to go in this third quarter. Basketball with Alabama with Zay Green at the top of the key. To the free throw line, Green to Cody. Cody drives in, left side layup, too strong. Got the rebound back though on the right side. Top of the key, Nye, then Green, a three-pointer on the way. Give it to her. Zay Green buries the triple. That makes it Alabama 49 and Florida 37. Basketball to the Gators. Cody, that was nearly a really tough moment. Should not get that rebound, layup up, no good by McGill on the left side. Cody with a two-handed board, and the basketball to the Crimson Tide. Green through traffic. Green, right elbow, pops a jumper. That's good. Zay Green, give her 18. That makes it 51-37 Alabama. 6:14 remaining. Green, the top scorer in this game with 18 points for the Crimson Tide tonight. Now the basketball with Reynolds on the right wing. Reynolds, Dizecco at the top of the key. Dizecco. Quick handoff to McGill. McGill around the screen. Right side of the lane, has her pass tipped, but still gets it back. Nye nearly had the steal for Alabama. Only 5 in the shot clock. Here's McGill driving left side through traffic, lost her footing and lost the ball. Stolen away by Cody. She gives to Collins. Collins attacks the paint. Left side, throws up a shot, no good, and a blocking foul called against Florida just as the shot went up for the Crimson Tide. Foul will go against Jariah Warren. That'll be her first foul. Harris Luster, Johnny Cunningham in for the Tide as Essence Cody will head to the bench. Along with Carly Weathers, 3 new Gators in as well. Paige Clausen along with Alexa Gassett and Kenza Salguez. Here's Collins in the line. First one up. Kicks out no good. 5:43 remaining here in this third quarter of play. Now Collins getting ready for one more. Puts it up. Off the iron, no good. And the rebound by the Gators by Kyle, and the basketball going to the Florida Gators. Salguez just over the timeline. Alabama up 51-37 over the Florida Gators. Now putting up a shot, no good, and the rebound by Florida's Kyle. Back to Salguez on the right wing, 9 on the shot clock as she backs up a few steps. 51-37, Crimson Tide leading. Salguez driving, left side layup up, no good, and the rebound tap to Zay Green. Basketball back to Alabama. Crimson Tide with 5:07 remaining in this third quarter. Now with Green, top of the key, launching a 3. That's good. Zay Green, 21. That makes it Alabama 54 and Florida 37. 8-0 run for the Crimson Tide. Most of that done by Zay Green. 9 of 15 shooting, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Top scorer with 21 in this game. Reynolds to the top of the key. Her shot blocked away by, guess who? Zay. She's got it for the Crimson Tide. Spinning around left side of the lane. Looks for help, finds Lester. Lester, head fake, bounce pass, Cunningham. She's got it. Right side layup, good. Alabama on a 10-0 run, and the Crimson Tide make it 56-37. Gators haven't scored last 2.5 minutes. Timeout taken by Kelly Ray Finley. We'll step aside as well. Christy Curry fired up, where the Alabama fans sitting courtside and all around at Coleman Coliseum. What a run for Alabama, outscoring Florida 15-6 to begin this third quarter. And our score with 4 minutes, 23 seconds left to go in the third. It's Alabama by 19, 56-37 over Florida. Back with more in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. .423 left to go in this third quarter from Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide with the advantage, 56-37 over the Florida Gators. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free at the App Store and Google Play. Crimson Tide in the midst of a 10-0 run. So much good work done by Alabama's Zay Green. Top scorer now in this game with 21 points. She's been 9 of 15 shooting, 3 of 4 from three-point land. Just excellent work done by Zay Green. Also got a steal a moment ago that helped lead to Alabama's last basket. Crimson Tide still without top scorer Sarah Ashley Barker, who has not emerged from the Crimson Tide locker room. Alicia Grisby as well as Dr. Ray Stewart have been in and out of the locker room some in this third quarter. But we have not seen Barker return to the floor. Alabama's top scorer, really emotional heartbeat of this team. certainly a storyline we'll keep monitoring as we go through tonight, possibly in the next few games for Alabama. Crimson Tide back on defense. Florida calling a timeout. Next dead ball will be another media timeout, so we may not be on the floor for too much longer in this upcoming stretch. Here's Gassett handing off to Kyle at the top of the key, then to Reynolds. Reynolds driving down the right side lane, throws up a shot, no good. Rebound between two Gators, finally picked away by Gassett. Gassett gets it loose, top of the key to Salguez. 5 in the shot clock. Reynolds dances in, travels to the basketball, and another media timeout. 4:03 remaining in this third quarter. It's still the Tide in front, 56-37 over the Florida Gators. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Crimson Tide fans, the Alabama Department of Public Health reminds you to stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations. Flu season is here, so don't wait. Vaccinate. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM today to learn more about how you can stay up to date on vaccinations. Crimson Tide 56 and Florida 37. We still have 4:03 to go in this third quarter. The Crimson Tide outscoring Florida 15-6 to begin quarter number 3, and Alabama in the midst of a 10-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Alabama has made 4 shots in a row. Gators back on the floor. They will have a little bit of a new look lineup. Ernie Kindred checking in for the first time today. 6-foot senior transferred in from Texas A&M. Has been averaging 4 points, 2 rebounds per game. Alabama currently with Eris Lester, Aaliyah Nye. Zay Green, top scorer in this game with 21 points. And then Diana Collins and Gianna Cunningham. Alabama with Lester will inbound the basketball. Or excuse me, Leah Nye. Other side of the floor will inbound to Zay Green. Nye into Green on a bounce, so we're back underway with 4 minutes to go in this third quarter that's largely been dominated by Alabama and largely by Zay Green. What work she's done for Alabama. Green feels the pressure at the top of the key, hands off on the right wing to Lester. Lester drives down the left side lane, layup up, no good, but contact and a foul called. That'll send Lester to the free throw line for the Crimson Tide. That'll be on Dizeko, the first foul on her. And the second team foul on the Gators in the second quarter. Just haven't been too many personal fouls called in general in this game. 6 on Florida, 4 on Alabama. First one by Lester, kicks out no good. 10-0 Crimson Tide run. Gators haven't scored in the last 3 minutes, 20 seconds. One more for Lester. Puts it up and in. Once again goes 2 for 4 at the line, 1 for 2 per trip. 57-37, 20-point Alabama lead in this 11-0 run. Largest lead of the game for Alabama. 20 points and a whistle blown and away from the basketball. Some contact and a foul called on Alabama's Eris Lester. First foul on her. First team foul on the Crimson Tide here in the third quarter. Essence Cody back in, along with Carly Weathers, Eris Lester, and Gianna Cunningham head out for the Crimson Tide. Salguez on the right baseline, trying to trigger the inbounds pass. Looks, waits, and Gassett at the top of the key. Quick handoff to Reynolds. Reynolds dancing around the top of the key, backs up, now kicks it out to Salguez. Right side three on the way is good. Kenza Salguez knocks that down to make it 57-40, ends a scoring drought of over 3.5 minutes for Florida. Basketball with Zay Green and the Crimson Tide. Green over the timeline for Alabama. Now Green the top of the key. Backs up, right elbow extended. Jumper is short, rebound tipped around, finally controlled by Cody. Left side, here's Nye with a three. Off the iron, no good. Cody with the rebound until it goes out of play. And there was some contact, no foul called. But Cody just could not haul in the rebound with two hands. Basketball going to Florida Gators. Kenza Salguez. Angles to the left wing. On the top of the key, Reynolds. Reynolds at the free throw line, swims up a shot, right side, left it short, rebound by Cody. Basketball going back to the Crimson Tide. Nye, left corner, it's Weathers with a three. Switch. Carly Weathers knocks down her second three-pointer of the second half. That makes it 60-40 Alabama. Weathers got the third quarter started so well with a three-pointer. Now another one to grow the lead back to 20. 2:20 remaining in this third quarter. Alabama up by 20, trying to win its first SEC opener in the last 2 years. Gators and Nizeko at the top of the key. Dribble to the right, dribble to the left, staying inside the arc on the left wing. Now Nizeko passes free throw line to Kindred. Kindred driving in, throws up a shot too strong. Rebound by Cody and a foul called. Fighting for the basketball against Alabama. On Zay Green, that'll be her first foul. Second team foul against Alabama in the third quarter. Drya Warren back in for Florida, replacing Layla Reynolds. Florida trailing Alabama by 20. Gators will also sub in Liv McGill. McGill, plagued by 2 early fouls, has scored 10 points. Only player in double figures scoring for Florida. To the free throw line will be Ernie Kindred. Played 2 years at Texas A&M, now in her second year in Gainesville, the University of Florida. They will get the Gators sorted out properly on the lane for the free throws as Gassett goes to the backcourt. McGill comes in left side of the lane in between Essence Cody, who's closer to the basket, Diana Collins, who's closest to Kindred at the line. Puts up the first free throw that kicks in. Ernie Kindred makes it 60-41. One more coming up for Kindred at the line. This is up. Kicks out, no good. Cody with the rebound right up against McGill, and the basketball to the Crimson Tide. Collins on the right wing for Alabama. Collins has her pass tipped and stolen away by Alexa Gassett. Running and gunning to Salguez over the timeline. Salguez backs up in the left wing. Floats at top of the key to McGill. McGill guarded by Nye. Dances inside the arc, right elbow extended. Jumper, swirls out, no good. Rebound and put back quickly in, though, by Gassett. 60-43, Alabama up 17 with 1:35 remaining in the third quarter. Green over the timeline. Green feels the pressure, finds Cody. Cody, a floater in the paint, short, and the rebound taken by Salguez on the right block. Salguez zips it over the timeline, driving with it at Warren, has her shot blocked away by Green, out of play, and last touch by Florida. So the basketball will belong to Alabama. 1:20 remaining in this third quarter. Alabama 60 and Florida 43. Florida has not won an SEC opener since 2014. The Gators have had a very tough time getting season started in conference play. Florida women's basketball, this is the only sport the Gators have not won an SEC championship in. Here's Zay Green, a left corner three is up, no good, and the rebound by Kyle. Basketball going to the Florida Gators. They've had some good teams throughout the years, even some NCAA tournament teams, but success has eluded Florida in this sport compared to the rest on that campus throughout the years. McGill all the way back on the right side. A three-pointer by Warren is up and good. 60-45 is the score. 46 should say. The inbounds pass to Zay Green. Green over the timeline for the Crimson Tide. Florida in the midst of a 6-0 run. Now Green backing up a few steps. Green at the top of the key. Down the left side of the lane, lost control of the ball, got it back, finds Cody. Cody puts it up, puts it home, and one. Essence Cody ends the scoring job for the Crimson Tide, making it 62-46. Chance for one more in the line coming up for Essence. Foul called on McGill. That's her third foul. Again, picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter for Florida. And it will be Cody at the line. First one, or the N1, is in and out, no good. And the rebound by Kyle in the paint. Kyle to Warren and then to McGill, dribbling over the timeline. Shot clock turned off for the Gators. 20 seconds to work with here in the third quarter. Alabama 62 and Florida 46. McGill at the top of the key with 10 seconds, gets moving. Left elbow extended, now to Kyle, left side lane. Forces up a shot, left it woefully short, and the rebound picked away by Collins. Collins over the timeline left, 1 second left. Collins left wing does not get a shot off as she was double teamed by Florida, and the third quarter is complete. It was the Zay Green show in the third quarter. She leads the way with 21 points for Alabama. We roll to the fourth in Tuscaloosa. It's Alabama 62 and Florida 46. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Winning 62-46 over Florida. We get ready to start the fourth quarter in Tuscaloosa. Stay with us after the ball game is over. We will have the Regions post-game show with the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry. Make sure you get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. It's Alabama with the advantage against the Florida Gators, 62-46 the score. Taking a quick look at the Alabama Power scoreboard update. Alabama Power, power for a better Alabama. South Carolina up 48-34 on Mizzou with just under 4 minutes to go in the third. Also, 4 minutes to go in the third from Lexington. Kentucky having no problem. Mississippi State up 64-46. It's Ole Miss 55, Auburn 31 with 5 minutes to go in the third. Halftime in Nashville, Vanderbilt up 50-29 on Florida's next opponent, the Georgia Lady Bulldogs. Also into the first in Bryan College Station, Tennessee 22 and Texas A&M 15. Later tonight, Texas at Oklahoma, LSU at Arkansas. Underway to begin the fourth quarter. Crimson Tide trying to pick up a SEC opener win against the Florida Gators. Leah Nye at the top of the key. Tries to go to Collins, but that's tipped and stolen away by McGill. Driving, right side layup good. A steal and a score begins the Florida fourth quarter, 62-48. Then Warren nearly stole away from Green. Green troubled in the backcourt, double teamed, and Christy Curry calls timeout. We will step aside as well. 9:40 remaining in this fourth quarter from Tuscaloosa. It's the Crimson Tide in front, 62-48 against the Florida Gators. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Tide leading 62-48 over the Florida Gators as we're still early, only 20 seconds into this fourth quarter. Florida had a steal and a score by Liv McGill, and then good backcourt pressure on Alabama's next inbounds pass. So Coach Curry quickly called timeout to avoid back-to-back turnovers to start the fourth quarter. 9:40 remaining in this fourth quarter. If you missed it earlier today, we had Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. It's available to watch on demand on the CTSN YouTube page, also Facebook and X as well. It included a conversation with the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry, really a good mid-season report on Alabama women's basketball. That interview also on demand as well at Crimson Tide Sports Network YouTube page. Carly Weathers will inbound the basketball for the Tide, and we are back underway with the basketball with Zay Green over the timeline to Weathers, and then back in between the rings to Green. Green on the right wing, a handoff to Aaliyah Nye. Her pass kicked out of play by Salguez on the right sideline, and the basketball will still be with Crimson Tide. 20 on the shot clock to work with for Alabama. Now Collins ready for the inbounds pass. Sideline out of bounds play from the right side. It's Collins. Into Weathers at the top of the key. Handoff to Collins. Collins driving down the left side lane. Puts it up. Doesn't get the friendly roll, but will go to the free throw line. Foul called against Florida. 62-48 Alabama leads with 9:24 remaining. Miara O'Neal called for the foul. 6'4" freshman from Houston. McDonald's All-American on this roster. Here's Collins. Makes the first. 63-48 score. One more on the way. Collins puts it home. 64-48. Crimson Tide leading against Florida. Basketball with the Gators with McGill over the timeline. McGill on the right wing. Now a handoff to Warren, top of the key. Warren launches a high arching three. That's good. Jariah Warren knocks down the three-pointer. 64-51 Alabama's lead. Trimmed to 13 with 9 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Basketball with Zay Green, top of the key, finding Weathers. Then in the left corner, her pass intended for Collins, tipped out of play by McGill. Basketball with Alabama, 19 on the shot clock, 8:56 left to go in this game. Alabama 64 and Florida 51. Carly Weathers will inbound the basketball. Weathers into Collins, intercepted by McGill. Fast break chance. McGill versus Collins, throws it up, no good on the shot. Collins had some contacts, flies out of bounds, trying to slow down the progress of McGill, as Collins will be guilty of her second foul. And Liv McGill will go to the free throw line. The highest ranked recruit in Florida women's basketball history, was the #7 player in the nation. And she signed with Kelly Ray Finley and the Florida Gators. McGill on the line to shoot 12 points. Her time on the floor hampered by some foul trouble, up to 3 fouls in this game, including 2 fouls in the first quarter. Misses the first free throw here, keeping the score at 64-51. 8:52 remaining in the fourth quarter. Next one on the way, that's good. 64-52. Basketball with Alabama up 12, 8:52 remaining. Full court pressure from the Gators coming up. Weathers, the inbounds pass to Green. Green against Warren. Green feels the pressure again. There was nearly another steal by McGill. Finally a pass to Weathers will calm everything down for Alabama. Shot clock at 17. Weathers gets downhill, left side of the lane. Weathers puts it up off the window, kicks out, no good. Rebound tapped out of play by Florida, so it will be Crimson Tide basketball. New 20 on the shot clock for the Tide to work with. 8:34 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Alabama in its SEC opener up 64-52 on the University of Florida. Basketball with Crimson Tide. Collins looking, waiting, heaves it into Nye in between the rings. Nye, then to Green. Now Green gets moving. Green, top of the key. Into the Crimson paint. Down the left side of the lane. Puts it up, puts it home. Green scoring for the first time since early in the third quarter. That makes it 66-52. Green's got 23 points for Alabama. Now McGill backs up to Kyle. Kyle feels the pressure to McGill at the top of the key. McGill, left side of the lane. Her floater up, no good. Kyle with a rebound. Her putback, no good. Despite contact, rebound McGill with the left hand. She spins and throws it up and in. 66-54. 12-point Alabama leads. Full court pressure again, but it will subside as Green passes over the timeline to Weathers, then Collins, right wing, catch and release three. She's got it! Diana Collins with her first three-pointer of the game. That makes it 69-54 Alabama. 7:40 left to go. Good contributions all over the place for Alabama, especially in the second half, shorthanded without Sarah Ashley Barker. Collins and Weathers really playing a large role in this one. Gators try to go down low to Kyle, but that pass tipped out of play over the right corner by Essence Cody. Now the Gators will sub in Layla Reynolds, leading scorer in the first half, at 8 points. Replacing Jariah Warren. Now the Gators trying to inbound the basketball. Bounce pass to McGill. McGill in the backcourt. 10 on the shot clock to work with for Florida. Gators trailing 69-54, 7:20 remaining in this game. 5 on the shot clock. McGill launches a three. That's good from the left corner. Defended well by Alabama. That makes it 69-57. Full court pressure as the inbounds pass comes in to Nye, then back to Weathers. Weathers over the middle of the timeline for the Crimson Tide. 69-57 Alabama up, 7 minutes to play. Weathers, right elbow. Weathers, right block. Bounce pass to Collins, cutting into the basket. Stays on her feet on the baseline. Passes top of the key to Green, 10 on the shot clock. Green, step back three. Off the iron, no good, and the rebound by Salguez. Florida with the basketball, down 12. O'Neal driving left side, puts it up. Too strong and no good on the shot, but a foul called against Alabama. Zay Green called for her second foul. Really no foul trouble to speak of. The only two players with multiple fouls in Alabama's team, Zay Green and Diana Collins. Florida just has McGill with 3 fouls. She's the only player for the Gators with multiple fouls. 2 shots coming up for Miara O'Neal. First one on the way, no good. Keeps Alabama's lead at 12 with 6:43 remaining. Well, it's been a good night for the Crimson Tide. Again, a lot of the feeling of this game just a little different. Second free throw is good. Alabama's led by mostly double digits all throughout this contest, but the uncertainty about Sarah Ashley Barker kind of looms over what has been a really good result to start SEC play. The Crimson Tide will be home coming up against Missouri coming up on Sunday, and a game we certainly look forward to. Missouri playing South Carolina tonight, picked next to last in the SEC entering this year. Green over the timeline to Collins. Collins at the top of the key for the Crimson Tide. Collins dancing around. Now on the left wing, a handoff to Lester. Lester, free throw line, right side lane. Tried to go for a shot, partially deflected by Kyle, taken away by McGill. Here come the Florida Gators. McGill over the timeline at the top of the key. McGill driving before she put up a shot. A foul called on Eris Lester, disrupting her progress. Second foul on Lester. Third team foul in Alabama. Florida and Missouri this week to start SEC play for Alabama. Then the Crimson Tide will go to Texas. Team ranked 6th in the country coming up next Thursday. Then back on the road the next Sunday against Ole Miss, one of the top teams the last few years in the SEC. Inbounds pass coming right to McGill at the top of the key. McGill around the screen, top of the key, launching a three. That's off the iron, no good. Rebound left side on the baseline by Essence Cody. Basketball, the Crimson Tide. Green, double team to the backcourt, passes to Collins over the timeline left. Collins to Lester on the left wing. Lester hurries down left side lane. Lost control of the basketball, out of play. Touched last by the Florida Gators. And the ball will be with Alabama. Carly Weathers checking back in for the Crimson Tide, replacing Eris Lester. 16 in the shot clock for Alabama to work with. Roll clock roll at the moment. 5:47 still to go in this game with Alabama up 11. And a foul called before the ball is even thrown in against Florida. That'll be against Alexa Gassett, it appears. So Gassett called for the foul. Crimson Tide will inbound the basketball with Collins. And it comes quickly in for the Crimson Tide, and a quick layup is up and in by Carly Weathers. Excellent baseline out of bounds play for Alabama, making it 71-58. 5:37 still to go in Tuscaloosa. McGill swings it first to Salguez. Her pass intended for Kyle, tipped by Cody, right to Zay Green. And then Green steps out of play in the backcourt right on the sideline. So turnover on the Crimson Tide, 5:25 remaining in this fourth quarter. There's no media timeout coming at the 5-minute mark. Christy Curry called a timeout 20 seconds into the fourth quarter. Imagine at some point, Florida with 2 timeouts left, Alabama with 2 left as well. Somebody's going to call a timeout soon to try and slow down pace of this game. Tired legs as we get deeper into the fourth quarter. Here's Gassett from the right baseline. A turnaround jumper is good, 71-60. 11-point game once again. Basketball with Alabama, midway point of the fourth quarter. Green down the left side of the lane. Green backing up, finds Collins. Collins left corner 3 on the way. That's good. Diana Collins, what an answer. She makes it Alabama 74 and Florida 60. 4:49 left to go in this fourth quarter. Gators with the basketball, but some needed separation for the Tide, at least to 14 points. 4:40 remaining. Reynolds, top of the key. Nearly lost it thanks to defense by Green, but now Reynolds still dancing at the top of the key. Bounce pass to McGill. McGill pops a 3. That's off the iron, no good. Fighting in for the rebound is Gassett. Some contact for the Tide and a foul called on Alabama. On Carly Weathers. First foul on Carly. And that will send the Gators to the line. 14 fouls in Alabama, 2 on the Florida Gators. Foul occurred on the floor, so the Gators will inbound the basketball. Right baseline. McGill quickly into Kyle. Kyle, right side layup, no good. Deflected by Cody. However, Cody will be whistled for the foul. Essence picking up her first foul. 4:22 remaining. Crimson Tide now putting the Gators in the bonus with 5 team fouls. Florida will go to the line with Rashea Kyle. 3rd year for her at Florida after playing at Purdue for her first 2 seasons. Cody goes out for the Tide. Gianna Cunningham comes in. It'll be Kyle to the line. First one on the way. No good off the back iron. Kyle wearing a brace on her left leg as she's at the free throw line for Florida. Kyle with 6 points. First missed free throw of the game. She's a 75% free throw shooter. One more coming up for Kyle. 74-60 our score. Kyle puts it on the way, and that's good. 74-61, 4:20 remaining. Alabama with a 13-point lead. Green double teamed in the backcourt. Her pass goes long, intended for Cunningham, stolen by Kyle. Here come the Gators and McGill at the free throw line. McGill backs up top of the key, passes on the right wing, Warren. Warren, right side of the lane, throwing up a shot, no good. Gassett, but she draws the foul against likely Gianna Cunningham, and free throws coming up for Florida. Gators outscoring the Tide 15-12 in this fourth quarter. Foul indeed on Cunningham. That's her second. Gators back to the line for 2 shots in the bonus. Essence Cody, very quick rest for her on the bench. She will come back in to replace Cunningham. Gassett at the free throw line for Florida, 55% free throw shooter. First time she's been to the line today, 8.6 rebounds, now 9 points, knocking down the first free throw for Florida. 74-62, Alabama by 12, 4:07 to go. One more on the way, that's good. 74-63, back to an 11-point margin. Full court swarming defense by Florida. Weathers inbounds to Green. Green over the timeline, Collins. Collins, right side lane, in the right corner, there's Nye. Steps to the left, bounce pass to Weathers, top of the key. Weathers spinning around inside the arc. Free throw line, driving down the right side lane, layup too strong, rebound tapped and taken by Kyle. Basketball with Florida, down by 11, 3:47 still to go in Tuscaloosa. McGill, left side of the lane, top of the key, Warren. Now turnaround jumper by Gassett is good from the right baseline. 74-65. Single-digit basketball game. 9-point Alabama lead. 3.5 minutes to go. Alabama's been outscored by 7 in this fourth quarter, 19-12. Green weaving down the right side lane, throws up a shot that banks in. Right side layup, Zay Green. She's got 25, and the Crimson Tide in front by 11. 76-65, Crimson Tide, 3:12 to go. Basketball with Florida. McGill in between the rings for the Florida Gators, pounding the left-handed dribble. Pass on the left wing to Reynolds. 3 minutes to go. Reynolds in the left corner to Warren. And it looks like a timeout taken by Florida. So the Gators want to talk about it with 9 on the shot clock. It'll be a 30-second timeout. 76-65, Crimson Tide leading on this opening night of SEC play. Mention that the Crimson Tide will be at home coming up on Sunday. 1:45 will be our airtime for that ball game. NJ Newsom will have the call for you on radio, as I'll slide over to the TV side for that broadcast on SEC Network Plus. And the Crimson Tide will be on the road. Again, the next 2 games coming up next week, Texas and Ole Miss. Make sure as well, go ahead and get tickets now for what should be a great home atmosphere for Alabama. 2 weeks from tonight, hosting the South Carolina Gamecocks. 6 p.m. will be the start time here in Tuscaloosa. We certainly look forward to Alabama hosting the defending national champion, South Carolina. Look forward to that ball game coming up in 2 weeks before kind of back and forth road and home rest of the month at Arkansas, home against Vanderbilt, then at Kentucky to see the Wildcats' new Kentucky home at one of their old Kentucky homes, Memorial Coliseum, that has been fully renovated. Wildcats didn't play there at all last year. One of the oldest buildings in the SEC. Here is McGill ready for the inbounds pass. 9 on the shot clock. Has it. Top of the key. Stolen by Aaliyah Nye. Brilliant steal by Nye. Nye into the Crimson paint. Bounce pass Weathers in the right corner. Weathers driving on the right baseline. Double team. Looks for help. Tries to get rid of it. Does to Cody. Left side lane. Cody to Nye. Left wing 3 on the way. It's off the iron. No good. And the rebound by Kyle in the Crimson paint. Down floor. Gets it to Gasson, who beat everybody to the left baseline. Gasson, after nearly mishandling the pass to McGill, and the Kyle spins around left block, throws it up and in, and 1 for Florida. 76-67. 9-point game again with 2.5 minutes to play. Cody called for her second foul. Florida in the bonus with 2.5 minutes to go. And 1 coming up for Kyle, who's now got 9 points. Puts it up and in. 76-68. Crimson Tide in front by 8. Inbounds pass to Green. Backcourt pressure. Back to Weathers. Weathers to Collins. Over the timeline, she collides with her defender, and a foul is going to be called on Florida. Foul is going to be called on the Gators. Jariah Warren collided with Collins before the pass could ever get into Alabama's half of the floor. Around Mobile Bay on the state outline, they both fell to the hardwood. Inbounds pass coming up for Alabama from the left sideline by Carly Weathers. Weathers quickly into Green. Green steps inside the arc. Now it's Green driving down the right side, throws up a shot that banks in. 78-68. Zay Green with 27 points for the Crimson Tide. Basketball going back to Florida Gators. What a game for Zay Green. Her career high is 32 points against Alabama A&M when she was at Arkansas Pine Bluff. She's doing some special things in this game tonight for Alabama. Now the Gators have a pass kicked by Diana Collins, so the ball will stay with Florida. Fresh 20 on the shot clock. Season high in terms of points tonight for Zay Green with 27. Previously had 24 against Troy back in November, so this is the most points we've seen from Zay Green in an Alabama uniform. Minute 54 to go. Inbounds pass quickly in, no good on the left side layup by Gasson, and the rebound by Collins. Basketball to Alabama. Minute 47 to go. Alabama nursing a 10-point lead. It's been a good fourth quarter for Florida to try and fight back in this game. But Alabama has not trailed in this ball game, built up a 7-0 lead. 9 to Cody at the top of the key, 10 on the shot clock. Essence pulled a long way from the basket, finds Green on the right wing. Green a step to the right, 5 in the shot clock. Under the basket, a foul called on Florida. Thought for a moment Green may have stepped out of play, but a push called against the Gators. Only the 13th foul on Florida. That's on Layla Reynolds. First foul on her. 4th team foul on the Crimson Tide with Diana Collins. We'll get set for the inbounds pass. Collins, a bounce pass on the left block to Weathers, who backs up to the left wing. Weathers with 10 on the shot clock at the top of the key. Weathers, bounce pass. Cody's got it. Right side layup, no good, but she draws the foul. Essence Cody to the line for 2 shots. It's on Rashay Kyle, second foul on her. Now the Gators putting Alabama in the bonus with 5 team fouls. Essence Cody to the free throw line in her SEC debut. 8 points, 10 rebounds. First one on the way is good, so one more free throw made, and she will have a double-double to start SEC play. 79-68. Cody puts it up. No good off the back iron, and the rebound collected by Florida. Basketball with the Gators. Last chance to really cut into this Alabama lead at the moment. 11 points with 1:05 to play. McGill at the top of the key. Looks low and said swings it high to Reynolds through her hands. Weathers deflects it to the backcourt. Picked away by Warren. Warren's pass deflected between Cody and Kyle, and Cody will be called for the foul. Foul's going to be on Cody. That'll be her third. That'll send Florida to the line. Not the worst place for the Gators to go. A moment where Florida really needs a lot of points, and they have had a knack for hitting three-pointers. 9 in this game. Alabama's hit 10. Now Kyle at the line to shoot 2. First one on the way is good. 79-69. 10-point Alabama lead with 55 seconds remaining. One more for Kyle. Puts it on the way. Off the back iron, no good. Cody the rebound, and the basketball to Alabama. Zay Green facing some backcourt pressure against Reynolds. Now just moves over the timeline. Here is Green. Green finds 9 the right wing, top of the key to Weathers. Weathers backs up a few steps. Now Carly feeling more pressure, trying to get around Gassett. To the free throw line, 7 on the shot clock. Driving her right side layup, blocked out of play by Gassett. And the basketball will be with Alabama. Only 5 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Five on the shot clock to work with. Alabama up 79-69 on Florida. Collins ready for the inbounds pass. Collins into Green at the top of the key. 4 on the shot clock. Green, top of the key. 3 on the way. Too strong. Rebound Collins. Can't put it in. A shot clock violation on the tie. So the basketball to Florida. 25 seconds to go. Alabama up 10. Trying to win in its SEC opener. A night where Alabama was shorthanded the majority of this contest. Christy Curry's team's played some inspired ball, especially considering the way Florida's outscored Alabama here in the fourth quarter. But Crimson Tide have played really well and really gotten baskets when they need to. Even though Alabama's only scored 17 points in this fourth quarter, really no long scoring drought or anything like that. It's been a good answer from many players when Alabama's needed it. Zay Green, 27 points. 12 points by Diana Collins, 10 points by Aaliyah Nye, who has only taken 7 three-point shots. She's knocked down 2 of them. Remember, against Jacksonville on Sunday, she earned SEC Player of the Week honors by hitting 8 three-pointers, which ties an Alabama single-game record with herself. She also had 8 threes made against Mississippi State last year when she put up her previous career-high 28 points. 9 points by Essence Cody, 8 points by Carly Weathers. Sarah Ashley Barker scored 9 points before she left this ball game with an apparent left leg injury in the second quarter and has not returned. Haven't heard an update on her status from Alabama. Hope to get one coming up from the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry, with the Region's postgame show coming up once this game is complete. 25 seconds still to go. Alabama 79, Florida 69. Gators will inbound the basketball. Into Warren in the top of the key. Warren's shot blocked by Cody, taken away by Nye. Cody over the timeline, floats it to Collins. Collins, left side, finds Weathers on the left wing. Weathers dribbling out with 15 seconds left. She goes to Collins. Florida will not pressure the ball handler, and the final seconds will tick down in Tuscaloosa. A gritty, determined effort tonight by the Alabama Crimson Tide in its SEC opener as Alabama improves to 14-1 on the season. Tonight's final score, the Alabama Crimson Tide 79 and the Florida Gators 69. Rammer Jammer plays at Coleman Coliseum for one of the hottest teams in SEC women's basketball. The Crimson Tide 14-1 and now 1-0 in the SEC. Again, the final score, Alabama 79, Florida 69. We will step aside, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry, for the region's postgame show. That's up next here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.